It's Boxing Insider Radio.
How dare them even to challenge me, these fighters, with their primitive boxing skills. You know what I mean? They're as good as dead. I'm going to show you how great I am.
It's about how much you can take and keep moving forward.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
Boxing Insider Radio, bringing you the very best in boxing from around the world.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to BoxingInsider.com radio. I'm Larry Goldberg, the owner of BoxingInsider.com. I'm joined this time with only one co-host, but he's the one with the spice, and everything's so nice. From North Carolina, from Gleason's Gym, and originally from Brooklyn, the one and only Curtis Jones. Curtis, how are you?
Yo, what's the deal? We out here, we banging and slanging. We about to do this thing tonight.
So we have
happy to be
tonight, I am very excited to say we have a huge interview welcoming back to the show Larry Holmes, former heavyweight champion of the world for 8 years. He retired Muhammad Ali. He fought Mike Tyson. He's done it all in boxing.
He done it all in boxing, and he made wearing a flat top fade popular in the 90s.
Oh, he's got that too. Well, Larry's coming on to promote his new book called Don't Tell Me I Can't. And let me tell you, this new book, which is available on Amazon.com and anywhere they sell books, that he wrote with Greg Armstrong, is amazing. He tells you stories about Don King, about depositions, about getting suitcases full of money. Like we're allowed to ask him about all kinds of questions that normally you don't usually ask a fighter like that, because and it's all in this new book that just came out, Don't Tell Me I Can't, by Larry Holmes and Greg Armstrong on Amazon.com.
Yo, at the end of the day, I just want to say this, though. Listen, it's a lot of snitching in this book.
I mean, Curtis, his own trainer. This is the craziest thing I ever read, because I'm not saying I've trained like that level, but his own trainer recorded him on, and then took the recording that of Larry to the FBI. The FBI then put him under deposition to talk about Don King, and he gave one answer. Then the FBI took him out of the room and said, well, actually, Larry, we have you on tape. And they played him his tape of Larry with his trainer. His trainer was recording him. His trainer, Richard Giacchetti, was a rat.
Listen, sound like a lot of people eating a lot of cheese around there. Oh, man.
So anyway, I'm really excited about this interview. So you want to get right into it?
Let's do it.
Joining us now on the phone right here on BoxingInsider.com radio is the legend himself, Larry Holmes. Larry, how are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing today?
We're good, and we're really excited to talk about your new book, Don't Tell Me I Can't, available on Amazon.com. And I read it. I was talking about this a little bit in the intro, how amazing it was, because you're talking about all kinds of stories that people just don't talk about. And I wanted to see what if you had any thoughts on the book.
I think the book was written good, and the writer was a good writer.
Greg Armstrong.
He wrote what I told him to write. So that's it, because you know what? And the reason why the name, Don't Tell Me I Can't Do It, they've been telling me that since I started boxing. I mean, I couldn't beat Ali or Kenny Norton or anybody in that heavyweight division. Ernie Shavers, I couldn't beat them guys. And every time I said, well, I'm gonna turn pro. I'm gonna go. You can't beat these guys. And I said, well, just watch me.
So you're trying to tell me the man with the greatest jab in boxing history couldn't beat these guys?
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about. They didn't think I can jab. They didn't think, but I practiced my jab. I watched Muhammad Ali a lot, and I wanted to be better than him with my jab. So I had to prove it, and by proving it, I had to show it to him.
And I ain't mad at that. Larry, I just want to lighten the mood up. I just want to lighten the mood and just have a little jokey joke before we really start digging into this. Mm-hmm. Can you actually state your name? Is it Ernie Holmes or is it?
You must have watched Donald Trump.
Curtis always watches Donald Trump.
No, I don't.
Because they had a event here in Allentown, and he was saying that Ernie Holmes lives around here in Pennsylvania, and that was way out.
He was saying really nice things about this Ernie Holmes that everyone was like looking at each other like, who's he talking about? I think
Yeah, you're talking about Ernie's Holmes, you know.
Ernie, right? That's your nickname.
Now you actually had a tweet after that, and you basically said that he was mad about an appearance that you didn't do for him. Could you elaborate on the appearance that he'd asked you to do that you didn't do with him?
Well, you know, they wanted to get people to tell people to go out and vote. You know, yeah, you know, they wanted me to represent them. You know. And I didn't want to represent Donald Trump. I didn't like Donald Trump then, and I don't like him now.
So Larry, let me ask you this question since we're talking about this. What is your standpoint on this whole everybody get out and vote thing? Like, do you remember the times when like people used to can vote and nobody cared about who you vote for? Like
nobody cares about who you vote for. Now we mean something, right? Come out and vote. Listen, I do the same thing. I vote when I want to vote. I vote for who I want to vote for, and if I want to vote for if I don't want to vote for nobody, I don't do it.
Well, listen,
I don't tell my wife who to vote for either.
Wait, Larry, my question is, you said you didn't like him before and you didn't like him now. Why didn't you like him before? Because you had done a few very big, he had done some very big fights with them. That was why I'm curious.
Yeah, but you know, when I was in Atlantic City and he was standing there by himself, and I walked up to him like, "Hey, Donald, how you doing?" He looked at me like, "Who the hell are you?" You know?
Ernie, of course. He didn't know it was Ernie? He didn't know it was Ernie?
He should have called me Ernie again. I probably appreciate it more. But no, he didn't acknowledge me, you know, like, "Hey, Larry," or "How you doing, Larry?" Or shake my hand or something, you know? He said nothing, looked up at me like I committed a crime. So I walked away.
Wow.
So
I mean,
and then he's gonna get here to East. He's gonna get to Allentown, and because I'm only a couple of miles away, he thinks he can bring me up there just by now acknowledging me. So I didn't.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
You stood your ground, and you stood by morals and principles. It seems like your whole career you have done that. You know what I mean? Even with leading up to like with the fight with the Great White Hope. Gary Clooney.
Jerry Cooney.
Jerry Clooney. I'm sounding like Trump.
You're sounding like Trump too.
And they all picked this guy to beat you, and you made him look relatively stupid.
I was not supposed to be the heavyweight champion of the world. That line runs all the way down until today. I mean, people call me, they still call me Ernie Holmes, messing around with the fib, you know. But I'm Larry Holmes.
You're definitely Larry Holmes.
And I'm a heavyweight champion of the world for 7.5 years. And they told me I couldn't become champion for nothing. So, you know, I had to fight. I always had to prove myself. But you know what? I done it. I made it. So be it.
You did it. You lived it. You walked it. You talk it. Now, look, I want to elaborate with you about an incident that happened in your career with Trevor Burbick and you practicing for the WWE, running across the car, drop kicking him off the car.
I wish I could say I may have so rest in peace, but you know I don't care. But because he downed me, he doubted me, and he challenged me, you know, and especially after I done fought him and everything else, he talked nasty to my wife and stuff like that, you know. So he turned me off. You know, you don't turn me off. So I had to go at him, man. I had to straighten it out.
and that was a hell of a fight. It was a great action back and forth. And I want to say your right hand in that fight, like it couldn't miss. Like you couldn't miss with that right hand.
I trained to not to miss because I didn't. He just took something and pulled it out of me, and I just didn't like him. I just couldn't stand him, and he made me want to get him. You know, you ever want to get somebody that you don't like?
Yeah, I want to get this guy. This guy that's on the other guy on the other side of the phone. I want to get him sometimes.
Yeah, okay, show him how to throw the jab, okay?
Please, I need all the help I can get.
Okay.
So, Larry, going to the book, you had a really interesting story in here where you were in the middle of negotiating with Don King, and they sent you a briefcase with $1 million in cash.
Ooh.
No, that was Harold Smith had the money in the cash. Don King didn't bring the money. Don brought cash a lot of times, but he didn't bring that kind of money. But it was Harold Smith.
It was Harold Smith.
He brought the money, put it on the table, and trying to persuade me with the dollar to leave Don King and to let him promote me. And I said no.
What goes through your mind when you have $1 million in cash just sitting in front of you in your face?
Looking at it now and looking at it then, I'm saying, what the hell did I do? Why didn't I take that money? I need to bend over and let somebody kick me in my butt. I should have took that money.
Look, Larry, you putting yourself on punishment after that one.
You got that right. You got that right.
I mean, how is it like? I mean, working with Don King. I mean, I had a brief stint with him in my former career. He never got me any fights, FYI. But I'm just saying, like, I had a brief stint with him, and it's like he's a character. Like Don is a character. Yeah. Like,
and he's good at what he does. He's good at that. He's good at going out and promoting you, giving you money, and anything that he does. When I was with him, like the music and meeting different people like the Cooling Gang, the Temptations, and Harold Melvin, you know, like he can put those people with you, you know, and that's impressive to be able to call one of the top singers in the world and talk to him. It was crazy, man. It's really neat.
Yeah, he's a character. Very, like, you know how, like, before the fights he has his dinners and he puts these big, and he drinks his heated Grand Marnier up, and, and he's talking a whole bunch of throwing cash around. Like, he's a very interesting character. I mean, I know.
I don't think he do that anymore, but he done that back then. And I mean, you know, Don King had the best parties out there in Las Vegas. Every time we had fights, he always put a party together, you know, before the fights and after the fights. And it was mind-boggling. It was great. And a lot of people you got to meet just by him having a party because everybody wanted to be at the party.
Everybody wanted to be next to the champ, Larry Holmes.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
I ain't mad at you. I came across like a quote you said about Mike Tyson, and you saying you should have never came back this early and took that fight because Mike Tyson could have never beat Larry Holmes if you had like a full training camp.
If I had full training, no way in hell. Well, first Don gave me when we first signed the contract. We signed the contract that I had time to get ready and get in shape. And when we signed the fight, he had changed the whole damn contract. I didn't have a 2 weeks to get ready for Mike Tyson because even though I was off for 2 years and I came back to fight, I thought that I could beat Mike Tyson, you know, and he wouldn't have been able to hit me with the punches that he hit me with because I was too slick. I was good at what I did. And Mike Tyson, well, you know, big, strong, coming at you. And I knew he was going to try to get me. I knew everything I thought he was going to do to me, he did. And I was trying my best to break out of that slump that I was in, to get back on my toes so I can knock this guy out. But, you know, I had no hard feelings with Mike Tyson. I got paid $3.5 million. So
I wasn't having hard feelings either.
So that's clear. You know, Mike and I are good friends now. Now that he beat me up, he don't got nothing to worry about.
What do you think about Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones?
I don't think that's a good idea because for Mike it is good, but for Roy, I don't. He's not a heavyweight, and Roy's going to have to fight over his limits because Mike Tyson, even though they say going to be, you know, mostly foreplay, he's not with foreplay with Mike Tyson because he can't foreplay. He's going to go out there and try to kill you. And if Roy Jones ain't ready for that, he's going to get banged. He's going to get hit like I did, or harder. So Mike going to jump on him. And you can't make Mike Tyson look bad because it's a show that they putting on, but Mike got to look good on putting on this show. If he don't feel good at putting on this show, all hell's going to break out, and that's what I think going to happen. All hell's going to break out because we're going to try to look good, and Mike is going to be trying to look better.
And I said that too. And I said, because we had Roy Jones on, and I was talking to Roy, and I was like, I could see Roy Jones frustrating Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
And him trying to kill him. Like, you know, like Roy doesn't take a punch as well as he once did, once upon a time.
Right.
So I could see like this is being a very direct, a crazy situation where Roy, he still has his speed and he can pop too. He has that annoying speed, and I could see Mike going in for the kill.
Yeah, that's it. Mike going on for the kill. But Roy is he's gonna try to fight, but he ain't gonna be able to run for the times that he's gonna be running because he's gonna have to run from Mike Tyson.
But I hear it's an 18-foot ring. I hear they using like an 18-foot ring
with 2-minute rounds.
How much
Look, he
with an 18-foot ring?
Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Ali tried to run Joe Frazier down. He didn't run down to the late rounds. So Roy got to. I wish Roy the best, but I think he's gonna get run down. I wouldn't bet on the fight. No,
you wouldn't bet. You wouldn't bet on the fight.
No,
I wouldn't bet on. I wouldn't bet on either because it looked like it can go two ways. Roy ignoring, getting on Mike's nerves, and Roy going out on the cart. No disrespect.
No, or that they stopped the fight because it got a little too rough because it's an exhibition fight.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it ain't gonna. But Mike gonna catch him in the corner, and here it goes. It's good night, Irene. But we're gonna, for 1 or 2 rounds, it's gonna be okay, and they're gonna be playing around like that. But if you hit Mike a couple of times, and the people cry, how good they're hollering. Roy Jones, excuse my language, Roy Jones is going to be in trouble.
I mean, also too, is like Mike Tyson's style. There is no way you can you spar somebody and you just like touching them up. There's no way that Mike could just I'm just going to touch Roy up. No. Everything is with bad intent. Like he dips this way, he comes up the middle. Like an uppercut is not nothing to play with. Like I don't care if you throw it soft or hard. Like an uppercut is an uppercut.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't know.
You know a little bit about boxing, so you know that uppercut is going to work.
Yeah.
Because Mike is going to see when Mike get him in one of them corners, he's going to throw right hands and left hands and body punches and a whole bunch of headshots. But Mike's going to try to. He wants to be the hero. He's the hero. He don't want to not people. He wants people to cheer him on. And you know, like people when they get started, they're gonna cheer. Yeah, and they're gonna cheer for Mike. Mike, get him, Mike. They're gonna cheer for Roy. I get him, and then and Mike ain't gonna like that. And then
No.
Good night, Irene.
Good night, Irene.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna meet Irene. That's like one of the oldest said. Like you hear, like in like boxing. Good night, Irene. Like, man, who the hell is Irene, and where is she?
Yeah.
She's sleeping.
Got it. Yeah.
All right, so Larry, going back to the book, one of the craziest stories I've read in your book was about your former trainer, Richard Giacchetti. So
He died. He died now. He's dead now. I heard a couple of months ago he died.
Oh, sorry for the loss.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so you were called to testify in front of a grand jury investigating about Don King, and you gave testimony. You were then taken aside by the prosecutor and said that your testimony wasn't truthful because they had you on tape, and basically while you were training with Richard Giacchetti, he was recording you and and then gave these recordings of you to the FBI.
They recorded everything and listen. They got me in court. I'm sitting on the court. The guy asked me a question that Don King got you to sign these things, and you didn't really want to sign them papers, really, did you? I said, I'm sticking up for Don. I said, yeah, I didn't care. You know, I was going to fight. I don't care. And then they asked me another question along those lines, like, you would have did this. You wouldn't have done what Don King wanted. I said, yes, I would. I didn't care. And then the guy said, no, you won't. Because listen, he pushed the button on the stand. They're saying, hear me saying, I didn't want to do it. And because I was being interrogated by the guy, the man in the courtroom. He was blinding me. And I said, no, Don King didn't make me do this. He didn't make me do this. And then they got me on the tape recorder that Don did make me do that, or force me to do that, or when they get no other fight. So I was like trapped. And the man took me in the back room, and then he says, we're going to put you in jail. I thought you going to put you in jail. Why you going to, what'd I do? He says, listen to this. And he showed everywhere I was lying at on behalf for Don King. And I apologized, and I was begging that man, please don't put me in jail.
It sounds like a messed up order of
This is like a mob movie.
Messed up show of Law and Order.
This is like a mob movie.
Yeah, dude, I tell you what, man, listen, I'm afraid to get killed, man, so I'm telling you everything you want to know. Just don't lock me up.
What was going through your mind when this was all going down?
I was scared, man. I was scared I was going to jail, man. The man in the courtroom told the judge that he's going to put me in jail and everything. So they took me in the back room and made me do that thing because they gave me the fifth. They made me, they gave me the fifth to make me tell. If I didn't tell the truth and they caught me in that, while they were on the fifth, I'd go to jail. So I just told everything that they asked me.
So they restarted the testimony? So they restarted the testimony, and then you basically told the court what you had told your trainer at the time.
I told the court everything they wanted to know that they asked me. They asked me a question. I tell you, they like, what's your name, Larry Holmes? What's his name, John Holmes or Floyd Holmes or something like that. I told them everything they wanted to know.
You didn't give them your Social Security number, did you?
They could have had that too. But believe me, they had my Social Security number.
They didn't get Don King at the end.
Well, Don had some good lawyers, man. Don was pretty slick. Don was pretty good, I mean,
what were they trying
to
trying to get you to say about Don King?
They were trying to persuade, giving him a cut of my money. Like he get a percentage of a money, like 25% of your money. He gets you that fight, and they wanted to know all that. They wanted to know all of that. And I didn't tell them nothing but what they asked me. I didn't volunteer anything. So.
But wouldn't they have been able to find all that information from contracts? I mean, or Were they trying to find out if there was a secret hidden deal that he had with you, where you're giving him money back under the table, that kind of thing?
That's just like that Don King was getting the money under the table, and they were trying to find out where he's going with the money. Yeah.
What was he doing with the money?
We don't know.
Well, we have to ask.
I don't know. Man, listen, if I know what to do with the money, I go get a couple bucks.
I got a funny story. I know this is the Larry hour, but it's so funny. It's like you've been to the camp in Orwell, Ohio, right?
Yeah, I stayed out there with him.
Okay, in his house, like one of his grandkids, I won't say no name. We was playing I was 19 at the time. We was playing running around the house playing tag, and we used to find money clips. This guy had stacks of money clips. You find them in the weirdest random place in this house. We used to go in there and just search the house for money clips.
Now we know where the money went.
But he doesn't even know where the money is anymore because it's so old. It's old money.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Don King had money, stacks of money in the hand clip, money clip. He had that money in there and had it in his pocket. And every now and then he would pull out a few dollars, maybe $1,000 in between 1 and 10. He kept money. He kept money all the time. That's because he could use that money to bribe a fight. Saying, look, will you fight this guy here, man, for this, and then I give you this. And you see so much money, you say, hell yeah, let's do it. That's how he did it. He's like me. Especially when I was going to fight Ali, I wanted $5 million because Ali was getting 10. I ended up getting $3 million because after Don King finished talking to me, that $3 million looked very good. And you should get this money while it was there. So that's the way he led us into that thought. Get the money while you can, because there ain't no tomorrow.
No, there's not.
No, there ain't no tomorrow, but Don is the master of deception.
So what was it like? Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Muhammad Ali, especially later on in life.
Great. I never had a bad relationship. I didn't start out having a bad relationship, and he respected me a lot, and I respected him a lot. He kicked my ass when I get in the gym because I was his sparring partner. He beat me up a little bit, until I got to be able to know him how to fight and how to fight him. I was okay, and then I got to be Muhammad Ali's main man. Ali loved me, and he didn't try to kill me every day in the camp or nothing, But I didn't see no guys he did try to kill in the camp. He beat them up real bad, but he couldn't do that with me. So Ali was my man.
That's what's up. You taking the fight with Ali, how was that for you? Because I remember seeing the fight, and you asked the referee to stop the fight.
Stop the fight. I was beating him. Everybody knew that Ali was almost finished. When I was fighting, everybody already knew that. But Ali needed the money. He wanted to fight. He insisted on fighting. And Don King would insist on giving him $10 million. And I was mad at him. I was mad at him for that because I only got 3. But, Ali was the man that get the money and brought the money in. And Don King, the one that was handling the money, so Don said, Larry, take this. You got to take this. Because he over here, and I can't give you no more than that. So he gave me the 3, and I took it and gave Ali the 10. And after the fight, I went to him in the dressing room. I said, man, I said, I love you, man. I never want to beat you up and hurt you. I said, I love you, man. And he says, if you love me, why you whoop me then? And I was laughing just like we're laughing now, man. I was laughing, man. He was laughing. Yeah, you whooped me. You whooped me. You shouldn't have whooped me, man. You shouldn't have whooped me. You know, man, I love you. I didn't do nothing to you. Hurt you. And I didn't hurt him because I pulled back punches. I didn't try to go out there to beat Muhammad Ali up like Joe Frazier did. Joe Frazier tried to kill him. Ernie Shavers tried to kill him. All them guys, Ron Loud tried to kill. Everybody fought Ali except me. Tried to kill him. They tried to hurt him bad. So,
I heard a story that Ernie Shavers is the hardest punching heavyweight.
I still feel the punch.
Huh?
I still feel the punch from when I fought him.
Wow. Wow. But he couldn't take a punch, though.
No, he can take a punch until he run out of gas. He always run out of gas. That's what he did. He ran out of gas. Because, you know, if Ernie don't run out of gas, you don't beat Ernie. Because he's strong, punches hard, you know, and he'd be trying to kill you every punch. That was Ernie Shavers.
So what's one fight that you wish you could have had that you never had? I have one in mind.
Has to be George Foreman.
Of course, Corey, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, because you know what? He's a butthole. You know, because we signed the contract to fight. I was gonna get it, man. We signed the contract to fight, and what happened was the guy didn't come up with the money. Like we missed one day, and George said, "Hell with it, the fight's off. I don't want none." So George got $3 million for canceling $1 million for canceling the fight, and I wanted to fight. I got $50,000 for signing the contract, but $50,000 ain't like the $3 million or $4 million that I was getting. So I was kind of angry with that. But he never wanted to fight me, and he told me. I talked to George about a month ago, and I said, "Man, I don't know why we didn't get in there." No, Larry, you would have beat me with that jab and everything. I said, "George, but we would have got that money." George didn't need money.
Well, he has that grill money.
Yeah, he got that grill money.
Grill money. Mm-hmm.
He actually
he want to fight nobody.
Did he sell his name?
I don't know. I don't know his business. I don't know that part. George would have sold his name if they'd have given him enough money. Yeah, he sold me. I was like, I sell mine if I get enough money.
Listen, Larry. So have you been seeing like all these retired boxers like are joining the marijuana gang? Like they're selling like marijuana is now legal. Like,
no, I don't see that. In Easton, they don't do that here.
Oh, no, in Easton. But, you know, they're going out west. Mike Tyson has his strand. Zab Judah has his strand.
I heard. I did hear that there was that, but I haven't seen it, and I wouldn't do it.
Oh, you wouldn't?
I wouldn't even smoke. I wouldn't even smoke marijuana because I remember I had a bad feeling when I smoked marijuana before. You know, I was walking around thinking I'm somebody I ain't, you know, forgot who I was. And I said, I can't. I asked God to help get out of that. I never can do it again. And it's been over 30 years ago, and I have never smoked it again.
Now, you were really
good, too.
Now, Larry, you on the subject of them making this a successful business, you were very successful in your own right, investing in real estate all over Eastern Pennsylvania.
Yeah, but you know, here this town don't support you. See, I live here in Eastern Pennsylvania. I've been here all my life, practically, and I worked hard in the foundries and the factories and the clothing factory. And, you know, I worked hard at what I got. You know, and I owned 2 bars, a hotel, and stuff like that. But people didn't want to support you. You know, and a lot of it probably ran because it was racist. A lot of white people didn't want to deal with me. But I just take it with a grain of salt. Keep walking around it. That's what I did.
That's all you can do sometimes, champ.
That's it, man. That's all you can do, because that's all that they left me with, you know.
I mean,
But guess what? I still smile. I still smile at people. I still say hello to people. And then when I get about a block away from them, I tell them kiss my ass. I'm a block away. I get long away, far enough away that they don't hear me.
I ain't mad at you, but you know, Larry, I got to tell you this. You know what you make? You know what you made cool that like a lot of people don't realize that you made cool. That flat top fade. Like
Man,
you made.
I still got it. I still got that fade, man. You know, it's a little lower though, because I'm getting old, you know.
Oh man.
So, you know, but
you made that flat top fade, man. Listen, everybody was getting fades then, man. Kid and Play, Bobby Brown. You know.
I knew Bobby Brown and them guys too, man. You know, I knew them guys.
Oh yeah, you met Bobby Brown and stuff like that.
Yeah. They were good guys, man. You know.
So I mean, I'm quite sure. I mean, being the heavyweight champion of the world for like 7.5 years, I'm quite sure you met a few people in your time.
Yeah. And you know, they all only one guy that I didn't like that I met. I can't think of it. There's one guy that I didn't like that I met him. I can't think of his name now, but I only had one indication that the guy was no good because
it wasn't R. Kelly.
Lawrence. No, it was Lawrence, the comedian, with Oprah. Not Oprah.
Martin Lawrence?
No, it was another guy. Let's don't kill each other with it, okay?
So anyway, I wanted to change the subject a little bit, talk a little bit more about your career. When I was a kid, I went to a couple of your fights, and two of them that stick out were Ray Mercer and the Evander Holyfield. I wanted to see if we could talk a little bit about those two fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, listen, Ray Mercer, before he signed the contract, I just see him fight down there. I tell him how good a fighter he was. Yeah, man, I want to fight you. I want to fight the champ, the real champ. And then when we signed the contract, you know what he says? I'm gonna kick your ass. He said, I'm gonna kick you, boy. I'm gonna knock you out. You know, stuff like that. I go, oh, well, I'm gonna bring it. I'm definitely gonna bring it. And I took it to him, and I played the game with him, and he fell for it. You know, the old Ali stuff, do this, do that. He said, you didn't hurt me, you didn't do this, you know, all that stuff, man. And he fell for it, and I beat him up. You know, so anything, that was Ray Mercer. You know?
Now, how did the Butterbean fight come about later on in your career?
Oh, my God.
I bought that on pay-per-view.
Listen, man, you bought it?
I did.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what, man?
Somebody did.
It was a good fight for me because I was not going to let him hit me. I knew how strong he was, and the guy can't fight, but he can punch, he can hit, he can hurt you one shot, he knock you out. And I was not going to let him knock me out and have people talking bad about me, you know, because I couldn't knock Butterbean out. So I started boxing. I boxed him because he can't catch it because he's short and fat. And, you know, he can't get to me, so I'm going to just run and give him my jab all day long.
But he was kind of quick, and he looked like he punched hard, too. Like
he punched hard. He punched hard. Yeah. I'm watching Vander Holyfield. He's on TV on the show. Vander Holyfield. Hi, Family Feud.
Oh, he's on Family Feud?
Yeah, I'm watching it right now with Holyfield on there. And let me tell you about Holyfield, okay? He won't give you an autograph. I said, man, give me an autograph. Man, I want the autograph. I get Man, I don't do autographs. I don't do autographs. Just give me a damn autograph. He wouldn't give me an autograph. I said, you do that to all your fans? Because I don't sign autographs. How the hell you got fans? You don't got no fans, man. People want autographs. I want autographs. You understand? When I'm with the Temptations or anybody, man, I ask for autograph. Man, they give me autograph in a minute. They say, shit, Larry Holmes, how many you want? You know what I mean?
But see, that just shows like how like down to earth of a person you are, because even like at your height of your superstar status, like you still will ask other like celebrities and stuff for autographs. Like I'm a fan of you as well. Like we should all support each other, and that shows a lot to your character. Like that shows a lot. Like
I'm not going to tell nobody no that wants my autograph.
Why should you?
Should I tell them? Oh yeah, well, I'm going to give you my autograph. How many you want? You want 10, 20, or I sign them all day? That if I'm not rushing and going somewhere, or doing something. You got all the autographs you want, man. Matter of fact, let's go get a drink, hang out together.
I ain't mad at you. I'm having me a little sip right now myself.
Yeah. Well, I had my one last night, and I'm not gonna have one today.
I ain't mad at you. You got to pick and choose these fights with these ladies that we live with, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they try to kill you. You drinking again?
Now, Larry, you had
my wife hollers at me when I go out and get a drink. I say, where you going? Like, I'm going down the street down to get up to the bar and get a drink. You going to get a drink? You had one last night.
Well, that was last night.
So, yeah, last night.
So what is a day in the life of Larry Holmes? Like, what does Larry Holmes do? Like, what
do you mean, what does he do? He's a person.
Well,
no, I know. I'm like, what does Larry do? Like,
well, actually, I was at a fight once, and Larry Holmes walked into the bathroom, and somebody freaked out, and they're like, "Oh my God, Larry Holmes is in the bathroom!" And you looked at him, you're like, "Yeah, I'm like you. I got to pee too, or something." It was very funny.
Yeah, like man, that's just like the other day, man. The girl I went to my buddy's place. He sells liquor. He got a liquor store, and the girl come in there to sell liquor, this new kind of vodka or something she got was selling there. And I was standing there. Then he waited on me, and then I was on my way. And the guy said to the girl, "You know who that is?" She didn't. And she Larry Holmes. Ah! She started screaming, "Ah! Ah!" And she, no, don't go. She gave me all the vodka and everything that she had, and thanked me 100,000 times, man.
Did you give her an autograph?
She was happy,
Shit, I'll be happy too, jumping up and down. I see Larry Holmes. I'm getting to talk to Larry on the phone.
So
where you at? I want to come up there and get a drink with you.
Well, listen, I'll be in Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You already know that. Brooklyn in the building. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The birthplace of Michael Jordan, the home of Biggie Smalls. You know what I'm saying? I'm messing with you.
So Larry.
149th Street, I trained in Bobby Gleason's gym up there.
Yeah, I train people now at Gleason's gym.
Curtis is a trainer at Gleason's.
Yes.
Okay.
Bruce, you remember Ira?
They're on 30-something street, like 33rd or something?
No, they moved. They're in Brooklyn now. They're actually in Brooklyn now.
Oh, okay.
So you remember the old days like Ira Beckles, Bruce Silverglade. Are you from the old school, champ? You've been around this block. Yeah. You've been around this block a few times, huh?
Yeah, listen, I hang out with Iron Baki when I get up there. I call him, let him know I'm coming.
I love Blade. Like, wait, Larry, can I ask you a question? When they gonna let Blade in the Hall of Fame?
You know what? I got a letter because a lot of people want to get in the Hall of Fame. Like Iron Baki, he should be in the Boxing Hall of Fame, but they just take and pick. And somebody else supposed to be in there. They called me But I can't do nothing because I don't like the guy anyway. They want you to come up there and sign autographs and pictures and everything, and they take all the money. They don't give you nothing. They don't even want to pay for your room. You come up there.
Wow.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what to say.
So, Larry, I got to ask you. So, I'm reading your book, and you had a really funny blurb about tough guys, about all these people that would come and they'd want to show off and that they'd want to fight you. You, of all people. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And like, how would you handle that? And if you have any really good stories as far as, somebody coming and challenging you to a fight.
Well, when they challenge me, one of the things I don't take them seriously. I joke with them. I asked them. I said, "How many rounds you want to fight? You think you can make one round? I said, because I'm gonna come at you when I come." So it's kind of easy to do because I walk away now, and I make them laugh. I make people laugh if I can. If I got a joke, I laugh. You gotta laugh with me.
But in your younger days,
I don't take people.
In your younger days, did you ever have say, all right, no, come in here and let's spar?
No. One thing I did when I started boxing, there's only a couple of times that I wanted to beat somebody up really bad, and that was Trevor Berg one time. That I wanted to fight, to beat him up. I just wanted to get him. And then, and Holyfield was one at one time. That's it. But I ain't never had a fight. For 40-something years, man, I ain't never had a fight. 50 years. I forgot I'm 70 years old now.
70 years young.
Yeah. And is that Iran boxer behind me? I read about it on. Oh, okay. That really both is going to take now on the show.
Oh, they got Bo on the show.
He looked like.
I was surprised I was surprised they actually let Bo into the Hall of Fame. To be totally honest with you, if you look at like the only significant win he has on his record is Holyfield.
Yeah. You've been up there. You've been up there lately. Because they got a plaque of me up. They got a little bitty plaque with my name, real little name. In the Boxing Hall of Fame, I told them they can take that down. Because there's no picture. And I sent them gloves, I sent them everything, robes, big pictures, and they don't put me, they don't display me right. And then they want me to pay to get up there. Can't do that.
Nah, we ain't gonna do that. But I tell you what though, next time they have it, me and you gonna go, and we gonna tell it. We gonna tell a whole bunch of people off over there. We gonna kick in the door, and we gonna tell everybody the hell off in there. Get my man a bigger plaque. And let my man.
They don't like me now. You gonna make them not like me anymore.
Look, it's gonna be me, you, Blade, and Mitch Green. We gonna all.
Mitch Green. I had it out with Mitch Green too. He used to be my sparring partner. He was my sparring partner, and I don't know how the heck it is, but he wanted to fight me. I said, "How can I fight you? You're not even rated. You're not nothing. I can't fight you. I can't get no money fighting you." He went off. He went crazy. Wait a minute. I can do this. I can do that.
He is a character. That's.
He's crazy. He's crazy.
He used to crack me up in the gym like all the time. Yeah. I remember him training with Zab's father. Like he was talking about he was making a comeback or whatever. He's training with Yoel, and like he's in there doing a slip drill, and he'll get hit with the punch and then slip, and he's making all this noise. Ah, yeah, blood, And I ain't never been knocked out. You know what I'm saying? And he's going on and on, but. He's funny though. I haven't heard from him in a while, but he's a funny guy.
Don't pick up the newspaper. You might read about him going to jail.
Oh man, that's so funny, man. Mitch is so crazy.
So
yeah, but he was okay. He was okay. But when he get mad, that was it.
Yeah.
So let's bring it to the current scene. Who are your favorite boxers right now to watch?
Listen, there's only one fighter out there. That's Roy Jones. I mean, not Roy Jones. Yeah. Is Roy Jones fighting now? What?
He's fighting Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson, right? They neither one of them is my favorite, but I watch it.
But what about like Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder?
I don't get into that. With Deion, I went to at the training camp one time. He was training somewhere. I forget where it was. And I was trying to show him what to do, how to use the jab, because he wanted to use the jab. But when I seen him fight, he didn't do nothing. When I didn't got beat up, you know what I mean? He let those guys beat him up, And I ain't heard nothing else about him. I mean, he got to if he come down here and let me teach him how to jab and stuff like that, he can win again. I told him that too.
And he got rid of Mark Breland.
What was Mark Breland doing anyway? Nothing. Mark can't fight. Mark is not a heavyweight. You need a big heavyweight with a good jab like me to fight them boys over there. If he went in there and did what I told him to do when I was with him that day in the camp, he'd have been all right. But he didn't do none of what I told him to do.
I mean, he has impressive punching power. I would say that though. He'll knock your socks off.
Yeah, but you got to hit it.
You definitely got to hit the target.
Yeah.
So a guy like Deontay Wilder wouldn't have lasted in the ring with you.
It's a good night, Irene.
There she go again. She made a cameo again, Irene.
Yeah, I tell you, man. No, they couldn't box with me, man. Listen, I worked with the best fighters ever. When I worked with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier and Ernie Shavers and guys like that, we fought. There was no jive with us. When that bell rang, you better call yourself a cab because we're going at you. And Ali was a hell of a guy to do a lot, to show you a lot of stuff. He was my idol. Yeah.
I mean, I deem Muhammad Ali the greatest athlete of all time. I don't say he's the greatest boxer. I say he's the greatest athlete.
Athlete. Okay, I take that.
I say he's the greatest athlete of all time.
He can be the great. I take it like that, but he wasn't the greatest athlete of all time because I can outrun him.
I mean, as far as like his political. I'm saying as far as his political stand and everything, and like what he meant to the culture, like being Black America and what he meant to us, like he paved the way, like for a lot of us. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Shit, look at your book. Don't tell me I can't. Look, you train right under the guy who's that tell everybody, don't tell me I can't either.
That's right. That's right. And when everybody was betting against him with Joe Frazier, I was betting with him. I went to the Philippines with Muhammad Ali. I went to Hawaii with him, and Chicago and Cleveland. Everywhere. I traveled with Ali, and I know he was good. He was good with people, and he can fight, and he could fight. He couldn't punch that well, but he could fight. He'll hit you 1,000 times before you know it.
I mean, he did knock Foreman out though.
Foreman can't take no punch, and guess what? He can't take a punch, and he ran out of gas.
Well, he did run out of gas. I mean, it was.
Because he tries to put everything together in one punch. I mean, because when he tried to hit you, and when he do hit you, if he does, he try to kill you, man. The punch, he knock your head off. But there's a guy named Jimmy Young taught George Foreman a lesson. I don't know if you remember Jimmy Young. I heard of him, but he beat George butt with all his little bitty tricks.
Interesting. Well, Larry, it was great having you on the show.
Before it goes, let me just ask him one more question about his legacy in boxing and any advice you could give to young fighters coming up.
Yeah, keep their nose clean. That's one of the things. When you turn pro and you're a fighter, you tell everybody you're a fighter. You don't have to tell them. You can show them. If they get in the ring with you, don't demonstrate your talent in the street. And that's what I did. I didn't demonstrate my talent. I worked at it. I got up in the morning and I ran. I came home in the evening and relaxed and went back to the gym and the train. And I ate the right food. I didn't do the drugs. I didn't do none of the drugs. I didn't smoke the marijuana, even though it was offered, and the cocaine and all that stuff was offered. I didn't do none of that stuff.
Man, where you was at 15 years ago when I turned pro? Man, I could have used this advice then.
Yeah, because I was training other guys too then, I was help training other guys, But I didn't do none of that shit, man. I didn't do none of that. I trained hard. I got up in the morning and I ran. And then I got home, I relaxed, and then I went to work. I did my work, and said my prayers. I asked God for the help that I'm going to need. And he worked. It worked, man, for me.
How much did you run? How long did you go?
I do when I get up in the morning, it's 2.5 miles, 2 miles. And then at night, after I finish training, it's another mile or two. I do it like that,
Oh, wow, you're doing twice.
But I didn't mess with you got to stay in shape. Get up, and I run and I sprint. I run and I stop. Run, stop, run, stop, run, stop.
Got to keep them lungs open. That's most important.
Exactly.
And how many rounds in the gym were you doing usually?
I would do sometimes 4 rounds, 5 rounds, 6 rounds. So it depends. If I'm boxing little kids or guys that are way underweight, I go 3 or 4 rounds with them. I didn't do nothing to try to hurt them or nothing like that. Yeah. That was boxing. Boxing was good to me. Yeah. Boxing was good. All right, guys, I know you got to go because I got to go.
Well, Larry, it was truly an honor speaking with you tonight, and we thank you for coming on the show. And we hope everyone gets your new book, Don't Tell Me I Can't, by Larry Holmes and Greg Armstrong, available on Amazon.com and wherever books are sold.
Yeah, buy the book because it's a knockout.
The book is very good, absolutely.
It's Good Night, Irene.
Good night, Irene. All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.
All right.
All right.
Well, that was pretty cool, huh, Curtis?
Yeah, that was dope. Talking to the living.
I mean, he was absolutely a living legend. He's telling firsthand stories about Muhammad Ali. He's telling. It was really cool to talk to him tonight.
Yes, it was. The quote of the day, though: George Foreman is a butthole.
Well, actually, no. The quote was that you really knew your boxing or something. He gave you props.
Yeah, yes.
We're gonna have to find that clip. I'll have to give you that clip for your Instagram page.
Yeah, man, you must really know some boxing. Of course, I know boxing. I grew up in boxing.
Well, I mean, look, finally, you've got proof.
Come on, man. You know, come see the wizard, man.
Of course, you're here on BoxingInsider.com radio.
That's a fact. And the owner of Cash Out, Team Cash Out.
Team Cash Out. Well, anyway, Curtis, this was a lot of fun. We hope to have a show next week with our friend Jose Guzman back in studio. But for now, thank you very much for joining us on another edition of BoxingInsider.com radio.
Peace.
Stay up to date with all things Boxing Insider at boxinginsider.com and across all social.
It's fact. I'm the best. You know what I mean? Sometimes I don't want to believe it myself, but it's the truth. I'm the best.
Until next week's fight, go to your premier boxing destination, boxinginsider.com.